So in this video, I'm going to be showing how I've gone from my standard T6.1 headlights to these custom made. They're wrapped painted. They've got DRLs, LED DRL strips in. I've actually managed to do this for less than £10. Like everything I've done on this van, the wrap, the facelift, not quite perfect. A few compromises, a few DIY bodges, but it's turned out quite well. So first thing I've got to do is get these light units out, and then I'll work out exactly what I'm going to do. So quite a bit of this is chrome, which I want to get rid of as much chrome as possible. Obviously not the reflectors themselves, but this chrome strip on the bottom, I want to get that black. A lot of this chrome around the lights there, I think I'm going to wrap these front sections, I'm going to wrap it in the blue to match the van. So I've got to get this lens cover off. These are bonded on, so I need to go into an oven, soften the bonding. First problem I've got, these light units are too big to go in my oven. So I have made my own oven out of insulation boards, and I'll be using my heat gun to heat it up. It's a blessing really, my wife does not like me putting car parts in the oven. So I'm going to get it warm now, as warm as possible. When I put the light in, I'm going to be using this just to protect the light from the heat. So that's really warm now, hot even. I've not got a thermometer, so I don't know the exact temperature, but it definitely feels like an oven. I'm going to leave that in there for 10 minutes, keep an eye on it, and hopefully this bonding will get nice and soft. This has not gone to plan at all. It's a bit of a disaster. I've had it in for about 20 minutes. The bonding just is not softening. I've had the heat gun directly on it. As you can see there, it just isn't softening at all. So I've done lights before. I've done Mark IV Golf lights, done some Audi lights, and I literally just heated it up and it went to chewing gum consistency and they came off, but this one isn't doing that. So I've come too far with this now to give up. So it's going to be plan B, which is going to be not ideal, a bit drastic, but got to be done. So I've got these lenses off. It wasn't pretty. I didn't get any video of it, but it involved angle grinder, knife, scraper, multi-tool. So they have come off. I've not damaged the lens itself. I've had to take the whole lip off. I've managed to keep the bracket on the side there, because that's important. It took quite a while, but it has come off. It's going to be a bit of a dog's dinner when it goes back together, but I will be able to bond it on. Probably going to have to have some screws in it or something like that. So I'll get the insides of this split up now. It looks like mostly sort of clipped together. So hopefully that's not going to take me too long. So pretty easy to split that up. It was all little clips. Bit of bonding left from the lens, but it all came off quite easily. So this lower section here, I'm going to be spraying that in Plastidip, matte black Plastidip. Most of this lens is going to be sprayed, but I'm going to be doing this front section there. I'm going to be wrapping that in blue. So I'm going to wrap it in blue first. Then I'm going to tape over the wrap and then spray it, rather than trying to wrap on top of Plastidip. So I'll get that wrapped and then get it ready to be sprayed. So I'm using, it's not actual Plastidip, it is from Aldi or Lidl. It was £3.99. Never used it before, don't know how it's going to go. I've never even used plastic dip before, actually. But it's quite easy to put on. There's not much prep. You just need to make sure it's clean. So that has come out surprisingly well. I'm quite happy with that. There's some imperfections. See that edge there? That's actually covered by the lens. I'm not going to see that. I've got a couple of bits of run. I've got a couple of runs. I'm just going to have to live with that. It looks worse on the camera than in real life. Really happy with the wrapped bits. I think they look great, and it actually worked taping them up. So this is sort of how it's going to look. This is how it's going to look put together. So these are the LED strips I've got. They're from Temu. I'm sure they were £2.79 delivered for the pair. I have tested them on a battery. They're all working fine. The reviews were quite good. They said they're quite bright. Some people said they didn't work out the box, but I think you always get that for that sort of money. I'm always going to get that. How long they're going to last, I don't know. So these are their sequential ones, and they have the startup one, a bit like I think it's the Range Rover Matrix lights. More and more modern cars have got them. I see quite a few. I think the Hyundais have got them now. So the plan with these, they do have self-adhesive on them. I'm not going to trust that. So I am going to bond them in with some PU adhesive. I'm going to bond them in, clamp them down, leave them 24 hours, and hopefully that will, I'm sure that will do the job, rather than trying to trust this self-adhesive sticker. So while this adhesive's setting, I'm going to sort out the indicators. So the LED strip has got a sequential indicator in it. So I don't want the bulb on. Now, if I take this bulb out, it's going to fast flash because the car's going to think I've got a bulb out. So I'm going to leave that in, and I'm going to wrap the front of this indicator lens. So there's two reasons I'm doing this. One is because of the fast flashing. It's going to solve that problem. Second reason is if this LED strip's going to fail, which it's got a good chance will do, I'm not going to have to take the whole front end off to sort it out. All I'm going to have to do is take this wrap off the front, and then I've got my indicators then within 10 seconds. So that's all bonded on now. Seems really secure. So I'll get all this clipped back together, get this lens bodged back on, and then give it all a test. So I'm pretty happy how that looks. I was worried it'd look really cheap and homemade, but actually looks all right. It's obviously it's a bit of a mess where I've hacked the lens off, but you can't see that. That's all covered when the bonnet's down. That's all covered, and I'll try and sort it out so it's as neat as possible. But see, I've also put these Volkswagen little logos on. I think they're speaker logos. I forgot I had them. I think they were only a couple of quid as well. Might be a bit too much. I might take them off, but we'll see. So the wiring on this plug, I've not videoed this. So I had some old plugs, I think they were from a Toyota. So I've wired them up. So there's three wires, earth, the indicator, and the DRL. Put them in. So these are waterproof plugs to take this headlight on and off quite easily. So I already had my DRL feed in for the headlights. This is a switchback feed, so when I turn the lights on, the DRLs go off. So I'm not driving at night time with the full LED DRLs on, because they will blind people. So I'm going to get them back on the car now, get the bumper back on, check they all work, get them on the van and see how it looks. See, now I really liked them when they were off the van. Now I've put them on. I like the black, I like the DRLs. I'm not sure about the blue. I don't know whether it's a bit too much. Maybe it'll grow on me. See, I'll go through the lights now and check everything's okay. So all done. I'm happy. Absolute nightmare of a job. Even if I weren't putting the DRLs in, I think it's worth taking those lights to bits just to get the black bits done and the wrapped bits done. I'm not massively optimistic how long these strips are going to last, but we'll see. Might be surprised. We'll keep you updated on it. So I'm not going to bond these in yet. I'm going to run them for a few weeks, check everything's okay. When I do bond them, it will be with a non-drying sealant. So I want to be able to get in and out of these lights quite easily. I have now done everything I want to do on the outside of the van. So it is going to be all the camper conversion now, which I have done quite a lot on. Subscribe and look out for the next videos.